Welcome to Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks, and this, the ultimate travel guide. In this video, I'll show you how to get here, how to get around, where to stay, where to eat, and what there is to do and see in two of the most amazing national parks in the world.
All right then, let's begin our journey right here in Grand Teton National Park. You can get to the park by driving, of course, but if driving here will take too long or is too much trouble, you can fly into the park and rent a vehicle. This is the only national park in the country with a commercial airport. The easiest way to get around the park is by driving the Grand Teton Loop. This road is fully paved and boasts some of the best scenery in the world. The road will also take you to most of the major sites within the park. Another road worth exploring is Moose Wilson Road. This road is gorgeous. You'll probably see some wildlife as you meander through the park. The road is not open all year round though, and it has been under construction for several years, but I do have some good news. It is now fully paved, so that's definitely a road to try out. Compared to other national parks, lodging isn't so bad here in Grand Teton. In the park, there is the fancy Jackson Lake Lodge and Jenny Lake Lodge, but you can also stay in some fairly basic cabins and even a dude ranch. Of course, the town of Jackson is nearby with thousands of available hotel rooms and short-term rentals. We've stayed at a number of different places in the Jackson area, including Fireside Cabins, which was wonderful by the way, and Rendezvous Mountain Rentals, who have also found us great condos in the area. Another option is over the pass into Idaho at either Victor or Driggs. Camping in Grand Teton National Park provides an unforgettable outdoor experience. The park features 6 campgrounds plus a dedicated RV park and has more than 1,000 campsites. Predictably, camping is popular in the summer, so book your site months in advance if you can. Campsites are reservable at recreation.gov. You don't generally go to the national parks for the food. I mean, let's get real. However, you still gotta eat, and the park does offer a mix of food options. You will find places to eat in the Coulter Bay area, Jenny Lake area, and Jackson Lake Lodge. My favorite place to eat though is Dornan's. It's unique, it's fun, and you won't find any restaurants in the area with better views. If you're in the Jackson area, there are plenty of restaurants, from the simple to restaurants only the local billionaires can afford. Restaurants are in the town of Jackson, the Aspens area on the way to Teton Village, and of course, in Teton Village. Grand Teton National Park has at its core the Teton Mountain Range, and while it's true that this is the focal point and perhaps its main draw, the park is so much more than this. It's also the lakes, the Snake River, the rugged beauty of the alpine and prairie landscapes, and of course, the wildlife. The list is long, but here are the main attractions in this very special place. If you're new to the park, I highly recommend you stop in at one of the wonderful information centers. The staff are very helpful and can give you updates on weather, wildlife, hiking trails, and camping. Jenny Lake is a very popular destination for boating, hiking, and also has stunning views of the Teton Range. The Jenny Lake Loop Trail offers gorgeous scenery, and the shuttle boat provides easy access to the beautiful hidden falls at Inspiration Point. A word about Jenny Lake is necessary, so when I say popular, I mean it. If you don't get here early in the morning, well, you'll be parking a mile or two from the lake. Close to Jenny Lake are some other beautiful lakes, and they include Taggart, Bradley, String, and Lee Lakes. Schwabacher's Landing is one of the classic photo and viewing locations in the park. The area offers multiple spots to witness the breathtaking reflections of the Teton Mountains on the Snake River. Access is easy off of the Grand Teton Loop Road, although the last several hundred yards is gravel and has a few large potholes, so travel carefully. But really, I mean, what a magical view. Mormon Row is an historic area featuring well-preserved homesteads and barns from the early 1900s. The iconic molten barns are set against the backdrop of the Tetons and are particularly famous amongst photographers and history buffs. The two barns just happen to be the most photographed barns in the world also, and those are the T.A. Moulton Barn and the John Moulton Barn. These two barns are separated by several hundred yards, and this location and Schwabacher's Landing are my favorite two locations in the park. A scenic drive leads to the summit of Signal Mountain. Once you're there, there's a small parking lot and a short walk to a viewing area. And it's here when you will be hit with the most incredible views of the Teton Range, Jackson Hole Valley, and nearby lakes. Oxbow Bend is a picturesque bend in the Snake River with the Teton Range and Mount Moran as its backdrop. It's a prime location for wildlife viewing, especially at dawn and dusk when the animals are most active. Another incredible view can be had at the Snake River Overlook, a location made famous by the legendary photographer Ansel Adams. This location is easy to get to and is directly off of the Grand Teton Loop and has plenty of parking. Jackson Lake is by far the largest lake in the park and is great for boating, fishing, and other water-based activities. Like the other lakes in the park, Jackson Lake has stunning views of the Teton Mountain Range. The Chapel of the Transfiguration is yet another one of the out-of-this-world incredible locations. This gorgeous little church with the view that only God could grant is about 100 years old and sits beneath the towering Tetons. Another beautiful church that doesn't get nearly as much attention is the Chapel of the Sacred Heart. The views aren't nearly as good, but the interior is absolutely stunning. Hiking is awesome in Grand Teton with many trails ranging from the easy to the extreme. There are over 250 miles of trails to choose from. It's advised that you check in with a ranger station for up-to-date conditions. The lakes and the Snake River offer world-class boating, rafting, and fishing. And one of the highlights of any visit is seeing wildlife, and well, you probably will. The park has an abundance of bison, moose, elk, pronghorn, fox, black and grizzly bears, and many bird species. Of course, and needless to say, follow the wildlife rules imposed by the National Park Service. And if you're a photographer, well, you already know about this park. There are so many places that you can go to get that absolutely perfect gallery photo. If you enjoy National Park videos, please consider subscribing to the channel as I add at least 2 National Park videos every month. All right, what a start, but let's continue with our next park, and it's a good one, Yellowstone. Welcome to Yellowstone, arguably the most unique national park in North America. Yellowstone National Park, established in 1872 by the U.S. Congress, holds the distinction of being widely recognized as the world's first national park. Its creation aimed to preserve the park's unparalleled geothermal features, diverse ecosystems, and breathtaking landscapes for future generations. To get to Yellowstone, you can drive, of course, or you can fly into nearby airports like Jackson Hole, Cody, Bozeman, or Idaho Falls, and then drive once you've collected your rental car. You can enter the park using one of 5 park entrances. Of course, if you're traveling from Grand Teton National Park to the south, it's easy to drive north into Yellowstone. Getting around Yellowstone can be done by driving on the Grand Loop Road, a 142-mile figure-8 route connecting many of the park's major attractions. Now, most park roads are closed to regular vehicles from early November to late April. Shuttle services and guided tours provide alternatives to driving if you prefer. Gas stations and EV charging stations are scattered around the park. But remember, this park is huge, so it's advised that you have a full tank or charge when you enter the park. And of course, in the summer, the roads are busy and often travel is slow due to traffic or wildlife on the road. If you need some assistance, want updates on road conditions, weather, and wildlife, Yellowstone has 9 visitor centers. If you dream of staying in an old lodge in Yellowstone, well, you can. Lodging in Yellowstone National Park includes these historic hotels, cozy cabins, and with options like Old Faithful Inn and Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel and Lake Yellowstone Hotel, you've got a few properties to choose from. The properties are operated by Yellowstone National Park lodges. Reservations, especially during the peak seasons, are essential due to high demand. If you really want to be amongst nature, though, there is the camping experience, and Yellowstone doesn't disappoint. Camping in the park offers a range of experiences from developed campgrounds to backcountry sites. The park has 12 developed campgrounds with over 2,000 established campsites. All campsites must be reserved in advance, with the exception of Mammoth Campground, which offers first-come, first-served sites from October 15th through to April 1st. In the park, you can find restaurants, cafeterias, and general stores. Key dining spots can be found at Canyon Village, Grant Village, Lake Village, Mammoth Hot Springs, Old Faithful, and Tower Fall. Additionally, general stores throughout the park sell snacks, sandwiches, and beverages. Yellowstone is celebrated for its unparalleled landscapes, diverse wildlife, and the simmering supervolcano just beneath its surface. Its role in the history of the national park system is pivotal, but the park offers even more. A surreal, haunting, and otherworldly experience that defies easy description and demands to be seen, to be truly understood. Here are the top attractions and sights in Yellowstone. Located on the shores of Yellowstone Lake, West Thumb Geyser Basin showcases a variety of geothermal features like hot springs, mud pots, and geysers. If you want fewer crowds, West Thumb is one of the least visited basins in the park. Yellowstone Lake is the largest high-elevation lake in North America and offers stunning vistas as well as boating and fishing opportunities. Boating is allowed on the lake so long as you have a valid boat inspection and permit. Upper Geyser Basin is located in the heart of Yellowstone and includes the Old Faithful complex, including the hotels, restaurants, and the wonderful visitor center. Yellowstone has about half of the world's geysers, and most are located in Upper Geyser Basin. Old Faithful is perhaps the most iconic geyser in the world, known for its predictability, erupting every 90 minutes or so. The geyser shoots water up to 180 feet high, and it's a must-see experience. It also happens to be one of the most popular and busy attractions in the park, so get here early and pack your patience. Midway Geyser Basin is not as large as Upper Geyser Basin, but it's just as spectacular. This area includes the Excelsior Glacier and the amazing Grand Prismatic Spring. Perhaps my personal favorite site in the park is Grand Prismatic Spring. Famed for its vibrant rainbow-like colors, Grand Prismatic Spring is the largest hot spring in the U.S. The striking hues create a mesmerizing sight that feels almost otherworldly. Once again, this is a busy attraction and parking is surprisingly limited. Norris Geyser Basin is the hottest, oldest, and most dynamic of Yellowstone's thermal areas. This area features Steamboat Geyser, the world's tallest active geyser. The dramatic Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone offers breathtaking views of its colorful, rugged walls and the powerful waterfalls, including the lower and upper falls. It's a striking natural landmark that highlights the park's geological history. You can experience the canyon from a variety of overlooks, and there are a number of trails and walkways that wind along the rims and down partway into the canyon. Hayden Valley is a wildlife lover's haven and is known for its bison herds, elk, and the occasional grizzly bear. The open, lush valley provides excellent opportunities for wildlife viewing and scenic drives. Mammoth Hot Springs is famous for its terraces of white travertine, which are formed by hot spring deposits. The terraces constantly evolve, creating a unique and dynamic landscape. You can explore the region on a series of boardwalks. Lamar Valley is often referred to as America's Serengeti and is likely the best area in Yellowstone for observing wildlife like bison, wolves, and bears. Tower Fall is a gorgeous 132-foot waterfall that is surrounded by dramatic volcanic pinnacles. It offers stunning views and serves as a gateway to the park's northern regions. The trails, viewing areas, and parking lots were upgraded in 2021, making it an easy site to visit. And by the way, there are also some other wonderful falls in the park, including Undine Falls and Gibbon Falls. Yellowstone has a lifetime of recreational outdoor activities to enjoy once you're here. Yellowstone is one of the country's best wilderness areas, and as you would expect, there's some great hiking in the park. In fact, there's over 900 miles of hiking trails. As mentioned earlier in the video, boating is permitted on Yellowstone Lake and fishing is also allowed in the park, but of course you do need a fishing permit. Many visitors come to Yellowstone just to see wildlife, and that's fair enough. This is one of the world's great locations for animals. The wildlife include bison, elk, wolves, grizzly bears, black bears, moose, and a variety of bird species. The best spots for seeing animals include Lamar Valley, Hayden Valley, and along the Yellowstone River. Of course, and needless to say, follow the wildlife rules imposed by the National Park Service. So there you go, Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks.